What is up, you sexy beasts? Hope you guys are doing fantastically well wherever you are in the world. My name is Vakey, if you're new here, and we are just a big tribe of go-getters, really. Just people who want to live better lives, fitter, healthier, smarter. And so if you are here for the first time, we would love nothing more but for you to join the tribe. So today I wanted to talk about 5 things to be a better CrossFitter or a better just fitness person in general. And the first thing is probably the one that's changed my life the most over the last 6 months, and that is the 2-day rule. I learned this from a guy called Matt Diavella on YouTube. The rule is this: you can't have more than 1 day off from exercise in a row. You can have multiple days a week off, but you just can't allow yourself to have 2 days in a row off. And this has honestly just changed, it has changed my life the last 6 months. Since I closed my gym here on the Gold Coast, end of 2018, through till 6 months ago, I found it extremely hard to build a habit when it comes to exercise. Even though I love exercise, even though my history is in exercise and sport, for some reason, I just couldn't bring myself to exercise consistently. And so I found out about this rule and I started implementing it. So it's very simple. It literally is that. You can only have 1 day off. You have to work out at least every other day. And it doesn't mean you have to work out, for an hour. It can be anything from a 10-minute walk or a run. You just have to be active every other day. And it's meant that over the last 6 months, I've been able to increase my strength and my metabolic conditioning and my gymnastics. Every aspect of my health and fitness has improved because I've committed to this simple rule, the 2-day rule. So that is the first one. If you want to be a better CrossFitter, if you want to be just a better human being, commit to the 2-day rule. Don't allow yourself to take more than 1 day off in a row. And what I like about this rule is that you can actually schedule your days off. So if you're having a tough week, or you're having a week where you're feeling a bit tired or a bit sore, you can actually have those scheduled days in 2 or even 3 days a week. You can still stick to this rule and have 2 or 3 days off a week. So it's nice and flexible, and it just allows you to have those breathers but to not lose consistency, because I feel like that is the major thing. People lose consistency, or they can't build consistency. I remember when I owned my gyms, that was probably the number one thing I tried to encourage people to do, is to come at least to 3 classes a week, just to have that consistency, because that is ultimately what's going to see results. So there you go. First thing is a 2-day rule. Commit to it, implement it, see what happens. Good boy, Chippy, come. Good boy, come. Good boy. Okay, thing number 2, or rule number 2, whatever you want to call it, is eat the frog first. Imagine if every day you woke up, you had this frog to eat. And if you left it till later in the day, you'll be thinking about eating this disgusting frog all day long. So the best time to eat the frog is first thing in the morning. Get out of the way so you can forget about it and get on with your day. So what is the frog? The frog for me, when it comes to exercise, would be burpees. I think for a lot of us CrossFitters, the burpees kind of known as the movement that all CrossFitters hate. And it doesn't have to be that way. Why can't you be that person in the gym who loves a burpee, or whatever the movement is for you? So burpees has always been that frog to me. I despise it, I hate it, and so I avoid it. And it comes up in the open every year and I suck at it. So I've decided I'm going to start doing 50 burpees every day, every morning, leading up to the open, just to get over that thing about that stigma that the burpee carries. I'm a taller athlete. I'm a taller exerciser, and I just feel sluggish and slow on the burpees. So I'm going to make that my frog and eat it every morning. And it's the morning right now, day 1. So I'm going to do my 50 burpees right now in the sand. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. If you want to join me, by the way, do it. Just 50 burpees every day from now to the open. Whew, that was spicy on the sand. There you go. That's what 50 burpees on the sand looks like. Okay, so we have the 2-day rule, and then eat the frog first. Let's go home and chat about the others, eh? Actually, before we go home, it is Monday, so we better pick up our weekly biltong supply. Start. The people have been asking for this list, so...
They haven't. One lady has been asking, and I bet you paid her for it.
I didn't pay.
You're like, look lady.
Okay, well, can I just have 500 grams of biltong, please?
You sure can.
Let's go inside and I'll show you how the biltong's carved.
You get that nail in, eh? You gotta be prepared. Okay. Oh, it's a bit on the dry side. It's a bit moist and fatty, don't we? Would you like a plastic bag with that?
No, I've got it.
Okay.
I love you. Where are you? Where are you?
It's that ugly hat that's in the way.
I love you. Have a good day.
You too, bye. Love you.
Coffee and biltong. Don't know. Probably not the greatest combo, but I need my coffee and I need my protein. Okay, thing number 3. I really should have given these things names rather than just calling them things. But third thing on the list, become the strict ninja. The strict ninja. Man, I always used to rely on my kip. I probably could do 30, close to 40 unbroken toes to bar or pull-ups, but it was all kipping. Same with my handstand push-ups, probably close to 30 unbroken handstand push-ups, all relying on the kip, the momentum. And the old stricties, just avoided them like the plague. But I don't know if it's just age and maturity, but I realized that having strict movements are so important. Being proficient at the strict versions of the movements first, man, just gives you so much confidence going into the kipping motion. Imagine knowing that you can do 30 unbroken ring dips strict. Imagine going into a muscle up, just knowing that that dip is not going to be an issue, because you can rely on your shoulders. They are like cannonballs, Same thing with a handstand push-up, especially a handstand push-up. On Saturday morning, we had some handstand push-ups in the workout. I woke up the next morning, my neck was pretty stiff and sore from all the kipping handstand push-ups. And again, I thought to myself, man, if I just had, 10 to 20 strict handstand push-ups, it'd just make life so much easier. I won't have to rely on that kip so much. So, simple one, develop your strict movements. Get the strict pull-ups up there, get your strict dips up there, get your strict handstand push-ups up there. Basically, any gymnastics movement that incorporates a kipping motion when you're trying to do them for time in a workout, if you can develop some nice, solid strict numbers first, man, the carryover is going to be huge and you will be one of the standout CrossFitters in your gym. Okay, tip number 4. We're going to incorporate 2 things into one here. These things are simple. Please don't turn off this video when I say them, because they are simple and I guarantee you've heard them before. But honestly, the benefits that come from these 2 things is wildly underrated, and the benefits you get from them are huge. So being hydrated and sleeping enough, having enough water and sleeping enough, those 2 things alone, I think will just exponentially increase your health and your ability to give effort to your sessions when you train, if you actually focus on them and make them a priority. So I've just started using this bottle. It's a 2 liter bottle, and I try and get through 2 of those a day at the moment. I've done 1 liter. It's about 10:30 in the morning, so I've got to get through that by midday and then do it again in the back end of the day. Now, 4 liters is pretty excessive. It's pretty intense. It's hard to get through. So it's a challenge I've set for myself. But if you can get yourself a bottle like this, like a 2 liter bottle or even just a 1 liter bottle, and just work through that 2 or 3 times a day, that afternoon slump, we all know that afternoon slump, come 3, 4 p.m, often, you're just finishing off work, you're about to go to the gym, you get that kind of slump in energy, and it's often related to dehydration. Dehydration, I would say, is maybe the number 1 factor when it comes to fatigue and tiredness, when your body is just dehydrated. So just simply having a well-hydrated body is gonna keep your energy levels high, you're gonna get more out of your sessions. So I know it's simple, but join me on this quest to be well hydrated. And then the other one is sleep. I remember listening to a podcast on Joe Rogan maybe 2 years ago on sleep, and it scared the crap out of me. In fact, go ahead and search Joe Rogan sleep. I cannot remember what the podcast was or who the guest speaker was, but I just remember listening to that podcast and deciding on that day that I will never, ever, ever sacrifice sleep again, that I will sleep at least 7 hours a night. And so do whatever you need to do to get that done. I don't know what that looks like for you, but commit to 7 hours of sleep, commit to being hydrated, and just do simple things that I think majority of people aren't doing, and that's gonna set you apart. And again, give you the edge when it comes to your nemesis, your enemy in the gym. I know you've got an enemy. We all have an enemy, whether you say it or not, whether you speak it out loud. I know there's someone in your gym that you keep an eye on, that you want to beat, that you want to stay ahead of. Well, if you're serious about that, then get onto the water, get onto the sleep. Okay, last one. Mobility. Mobilization. I would say out of all of these challenges, these battles that I've fought, mobility would be the one I've lost in the greatest way. I've just lost in the greatest way. Mobility's just smacked me down. Range of motion, when it comes to strength, when it comes to safety, when it comes to your actual ability to increase your strength, mobility must be one of the top factors, because if you can't access certain ranges, if you can't get into a good position, you're going to be limited. No matter how strong you get, if you can't actually get into position to catch that snatch or catch that clean, you're going to be limited by how much you can lift. Matt Fraser talks about this all the time, that a good mover is someone that he can really work with, rather than someone who's already strong but moves like crap and doesn't have the mobility to actually get into good positions. And so it's definitely something that I have struggled with my whole fitness career, especially ankle mobility, hamstring, hip mobility. And so I'm actually going to start a 30-day challenge, which I've started and failed. I started just before the games, and then because I was traveling, I just couldn't keep it up. But now that I'm home, I'm not traveling anywhere for a while, I'm going to commit to doing 30 days of Go WOD, 30 days in a row, and see what the benefits are of just committing to that one practice for 30 days. And that's going to be one of 12 30-day challenges I'm going to do in the new year. So that's going to be the first one, is a 30-day Go WOD challenge. You can do whatever you want. Do your own stretches, do ROM WOD, do Go WOD. Find someone online that does stretching or yoga if you want to take part in this. But I'm going to do a 30-day challenge and see what happens to my fitness, to my body, if I do that every day and make it a priority. So there you go, tribe. 5 tips, 5 things, just 5 strategies that's going to make you a better CrossFitter, that's going to set you apart from the rest, because you focus on the details, and the details matter to you. And that is the 2-day rule. Not skipping more than 1 day of exercise at any one time. Always only having that one rest day if you need it, but never having 2 days off, to keep the momentum that you've built up and to not get into those ruts where you just can't seem to get back into things. Number 2, burpees, or whatever your frog is. Eat that thing first thing in the morning, get it out of the way. For me, it's going to be 50 burpees every day between now and the Open. Number 3, become the strict ninja in the gym. Prioritize your strict movements, whether that means turning up early to class, staying after class, but commit to getting your numbers up. All your gymnastics strict numbers, get them up. And number 4, it's a duo of drinking water and sleeping. And lastly, what was the last one? Mobility. See, I don't want to remember it because I hate it. Let's commit to being mobile human beings, Let's tackle it. Let's do it. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if there's any others down below. What are some of the key tips, some of the key factors that you feel that if you commit to those, you will be a better CrossFitter? Obviously, there's a lot more to being a great fitness person, a great CrossFitter. You've got to actually turn up to the gym, do all the meat and potatoes, do the workouts, do the strength, do all that stuff. But I feel like these 5 things I've mentioned, and maybe there's some more, they are additional supplementary things. They just kind of complement the meat and potatoes of doing fitness. So anyway, you stay sexy, keep roaring love, and I look forward to hearing from you on these things. Which ones are you already implementing? Which ones are you going to implement? And I'll talk to you soon. Much love. Mwah. Bye.